Molly Qerim's sudden resignation from ESPN's First Take on September 15, 2025, sent shockwaves through the sports media world. Fans were blindsided, no warning, no farewell show, no explanation. One day she was the heart of ESPN's top debate show, and the next she was gone. Social media exploded with questions. Was it a contract issue? A personal fallout? Something deeper? The silence from ESPN made it worse, turning speculation into a frenzy. Then Stephen A. Smith finally spoke out on his Sirius XM show. His tone was different. No trademark bravado, just tension. He called Molly a friend, a co-worker, someone he respected. But then came the line that broke the internet. The details are none of y'all business. Those 10 words lit up every corner of sports Twitter. What details? Why so defensive? Insiders immediately began dissecting his every syllable, claiming there was more beneath the surface. Was this a genuine show of respect or damage control from ESPN's most powerful voice? Fans weren't satisfied with vague answers, and they shouldn't be, because just days later, new footage surfaced, revealing a heated exchange that changed everything about the story. What that footage showed left even Stephen A. looking uncomfortable. The official story was simple. At least on paper, ESPN and Molly Qerim were in contract negotiations. Things went sideways, and despite ESPN wanting her to stay, she walked away. Her Instagram farewell post was polished, professional, and deliberately vague. She thanked the fans, the network, and her colleagues. But here's what caught everyone's eye. No mention of Stephen A. Smith. After nearly a decade sitting beside him, that silence spoke louder than any statement could. According to former ESPN analyst Marcellus Wiley, there's much more beneath the surface. Wiley claims Molly was pushing for a raise and a bigger role within ESPN, possibly her own show or more high-profile assignments. But here's the bombshell. He also says Stephen A. Smith, arguably the most powerful figure at the network, could have made it happen if he wanted to. Wiley alleges Stephen A. didn't back her during those negotiations, leading to frustration that reached a breaking point. That theory turned a clean contract dispute into a full-blown power struggle. And once people noticed that Molly left without publicly acknowledging Stephen A., it only fueled suspicions of betrayal behind the scenes. But what happened next made things even messier, because insiders started leaking details ESPN never wanted public. Marcellus Wiley didn't stop at the contract talk. He took it further, pulling back the curtain on ESPN's internal politics. He claimed Molly Qerim wasn't just fighting for a raise, she was fighting against an uneven playing field. Wiley pointed out that other on-air personalities, like Mina Kimes, were reportedly earning more despite having smaller roles. That revelation reignited a long-running debate about ESPN's pay gaps and favoritism, something fans and insiders have whispered about for years. Then came the real sting. Wiley suggested that a powerful ESPN executive never liked Molly from the start. If true, it meant she wasn't just negotiating numbers, she was battling a system stacked against her. Meanwhile, Emmanuel Acho and his Speak Easy co-hosts threw another wrench into the story. They accused Stephen A. Smith of mishandling the situation entirely, saying he revealed just enough information to stir controversy while hiding behind claims of privacy. Instead of cooling the chaos, his selective honesty poured gasoline on it. Fans started asking if Stephen A. was protecting Molly or protecting himself. But that's not where the story ends. Because Stephen A. didn't stop talking, he went on air again, and what he said next turned speculation into outrage. Stephen A. Smith wasn't done talking. Just days after Molly Qerim's exit dominated headlines, he launched into what fans now call his leverage and market value speech, a thinly veiled masterclass on power in sports media. He framed it as a general industry talk, but everyone listening knew exactly who he was referring to. Stephen A. spoke about knowing your worth, but also knowing your leverage, how fame, ratings, and influence decide who gets paid and who gets left behind. The timing was too perfect, the message too pointed. To viewers, it felt like a direct response to Molly's departure, disguised as a lecture on business reality. He said, "You can want the world, but if you can't deliver the numbers, you won't get it." It sounded like a warning shot, a reminder of who really holds the cards at ESPN. The internet lit up with outrage and analysis. Was Stephen A. exposing the truth or trying to justify his role in what happened to Molly? Fans debated whether this was honesty or arrogance. But then, things took a sharp turn, because while Stephen A. was making speeches, someone else was leaking details that completely changed the narrative and put him directly in the crosshairs. For years, the rumor mill has churned out one theory after another about Molly Qerim and Stephen A. Smith. From the moment she joined First Take, fans and gossip blogs speculated there was more between them than just on-air chemistry. Those whispers exploded after her 2021 divorce from Jalen Rose, but both Molly and Stephen A. have denied the rumors every single time. Jalen even called them laughable, saying the internet twisted a professional friendship into a tabloid fantasy. Still, the timing of her exit reignited all of it. Then came a so-called bombshell from a YouTuber in early 2025, claiming insider knowledge of a secret relationship. The video went viral, but it was quickly flagged as unverified and filled with inconsistencies. Even so, the damage was done. Viewers couldn't separate truth from clickbait, and ESPN insiders refused to comment. Meanwhile, Molly Qerim made her first public appearance post-ESPN on October 1st, hosting an event with UConn basketball coach Dan Hurley. She looked calm, composed, and completely unbothered, but whispers of a Fox Sports deal soon followed, one that could reshape her career entirely. And if those reports are true, it means ESPN may have just lost one of its biggest stars to its biggest rival. This story isn't just about Molly Qerim leaving First Take, it's about what that decision really means in the cutthroat world of sports media. If Molly lands a major deal with Fox Sports, it could rewrite the narrative entirely. It would prove she was right to walk away from ESPN, right to bet on herself, and right to reject a system that undervalued her. It would be a win not just for Molly, but for every media personality who's ever been told to know their place. But if she struggles to find a role that matches the spotlight she had at ESPN, it only strengthens Stephen A. Smith's message about leverage and market value. His "you get what you can earn" sermon becomes prophecy, not pettiness. The stakes couldn't be higher for Molly, for Stephen A., and for how the industry values women in sports media. Either way, one of television's most bankable duos has come to an end, wrapped in silence, speculation, and power plays. Yet just as the dust began to settle, a new twist hit social media, one that might finally expose what was really happening behind ESPN's doors, and why this breakup was anything but clean.